The new assault rifle in Season 6 is called the VHX-D3 or simply the VHX. And as we have come to expect, it was just completely overpowered at the beginning of the season. It quickly became one of the favorite weapons in Battlefield 2042. Either you just loved it, like everyone else, or you turned it down and started whining about it being overpowered. Truth be told though, we should know it by now. DICE released a few new weapons and they are very likely to be overpowered. Maybe not all of them, but at least some of them. It's actually somewhat logical. Who would play them otherwise? Let's add some useless weapons to the game. Yeah, that will satisfy the mob. Nah, if you want players to use and enjoy new weapons, they have to be good or rather unique. But I mean, you know what happened. DICE nerfed the weapons and, well, how badly did they nerf it? Like, really? Is it really bad now? Is it still one of the best, if not the best assault rifle in the game? You know what? That is exactly what we are going to talk about in this video. Before we get started though, I really hope you find this video useful, and if so, please throw in that thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to get more content like this. If you don't like the video, well, then just off and sorry. Of course we appreciate it, honestly. Please write a comment and let us know what I can do better. The VHX is in many ways similar to the AM40, the older assault rifle from Season 2, Master of Arms. Like the AM40 is just great at shorter distances, but once you get out of that comfort zone, it's just garbage. Ha! Who am I trying to kid? It's decent enough to harass most other weapons up to 100-150 meters or so. If the enemy is a seasoned sniper or an A-bot, that won't work. But most players get stressed as they hear the bullets tip by, and especially if you get a quick hit or two. You should know that at longer distances you need 7 hits. That's really not ideal. At shorter ranges though, my goodness, this assault rifle shreds. Despite the nerf from DICE, which made the VHX less accurate from start and increased the dispersion build-up, it's a really good weapon. In fact, it's that good I would say it's the best assault rifle in the game at the moment. Yes, I know you just love the SCAR or the RM68, so I took the liberty of checking the numbers. Admittedly, most other assault rifles are effective at longer ranges than the VHX, or the AM40 for that matter, but they are meant to be close combat assault rifles, almost SMGs, so that comes with the territory. What makes the VHX a really prolific weapon is the combination of extreme rate of fire, decent damage output per bullet together with dispersion that isn't too bad. The bullpup design allows for better spread management, and DICE has tried to stay true to that idea. All in all, the result is that the VHX still holds the lowest time to kill compared to any other assault rifle or SMG for that matter. Let that just sink in a bit. K30, MP9 or the PBX? Yeah, ready for the history books. We have a new boss in town. I think it was easy to reach a well-working configuration of the VHX from start. It's as always a bit depending on your personal preference and how you want to use the weapon, but I still find it straightforward. The VHX thrives in close combat, so I figure that some extra boost for hipfire is probably a good idea. There are nowadays a number of attachments to pick from, and I guess some of you prefer different type to mine, but for me the LS1 laser sight or the red laser performs the best. It increases the hipfire accuracy, but is obviously detectable since it's a laser. Other underbarrel attachments that I would contemplate are the Rattlesnake Light Grip, the LVG Grip or the BCG Light Grip, depending on how I want to use the VHX. The different grips come with downsides though, and although I don't think they punish the weapon too much, I like the original behavior enough to just want to slightly tweak it a bit. My default muzzle is the tactical compensator that offers improved accuracy at the price of some recoil control. The downside is barely noticeable in my opinion, so this is in many ways a pretty simple choice. I'd like to also carry a suppressor, and currently I'm carrying the 6PAU suppressor, but to be honest I barely used it. For starters, DICE has played around a bit with the range of cell spotting, but also I don't like the downsides of using a suppressor on the VHX. If it loses some oomph, it simply won't perform very well. With all the spotting going on in 2042, I don't really believe it's worth the cost when you're likely to be spotted anyway. Looking at the different sites, it's really hard to suggest much here. This is really the category of attachments where it's almost all down to taste and preference. I used the fusion hole site. It's only 1.25 and it's very lean, so it still provides a lot of information about surroundings when in ads. Because the low zoom, it feels quite stable when firing, and it's just one of my favorite sights. There is also the TR1 thermal sight with same zoom level, but because of the color choice of it, I think it's a bit too distracting, and I found it hard to interpret structure correctly with it. When it comes to the ammo types, I use the standard issue extended mag. 40 bullets are plenty and will keep you up for really long periods. As an alternative, I have the standard issue mag of 30 bullets and also subsonic of 30, i.e. rarely change. You can go with high power rounds if you wish, but then you only carry 20 bullets per clip, and I think that's too few. I don't like the idea of being stuck reloading all the time. It's bad enough that I sometimes do compulsory reload despite no need to. The VHX is one of those weapons that are really easy to handle, and if you basically play it like an SMG, no further instructions are needed. That won't unlock the full potential of the weapon though, so let's dig into the gritty details, shall we? First of all, know your strengths. The VHX is really strong up to, let's say, 100 meters. It's still quite capable for at least 50 meters more, but being capable and being in your strong suit are two very different things. Even within 100 meters, I found the VHX to perform better if you tap fire. Not in single fire mode, and definitely not carefully firing one bullet at a time manually, but rather than just pressing the finger until it's all blue, just quickly tap. How fast can you tap? I wouldn't bother forming controlled burst or so, at least not when a bit closer. Just tap as quickly as you can and maintaining just about the same fire rate as when holding your finger down. When the enemy gets a little bit further away, the need for more control increases. It's rather natural really. You need more bullets to hit, and at the same time the spread becomes more tangible. I never switched to single fire mode. I don't even know if it's possible actually, but I tap more control, both in numbers of bullets per tap and small time difference between the taps. If the time difference becomes significant though, you better find another way to bring it closer to the enemy. Just like when you play shotgun or SMG, you need to be creative and find ways to close the gap. Naturally, you only want to do that when it creates a favorable situation for you. If you on the other hand face a shotgun, then you probably want to rotate away to keep your distance or create an unexpected moment for your enemy. Just closing the gap until you can pet each other's heads isn't really what we want. The VHX wants a healthy distance to your opponent, but as I mentioned, it handles the really close and not so far very well. I have played around a little bit with the suppressors for the VHX, but I don't want to trade any more firepower, even if it's potentially offers some stealth. With a fire rate and a large ammo clip, you should be able to hold your ground regardless, and it's still quite likely that you already are spotted by someone or something. Anyway, in Battlefield 2042, you should only expect moments of invisibility on the minimap. I think that just about covered it all, so let's just sum it up. The VHX is a close combat assault rifle. Despite the recent nerf by DICE to try and keep it more at the same level as its predecessors, I'd say it's still the best assault rifle in the game. It has lower time to kill than any other assault rifle or SMG, and that, my friend, is not a bad feat. It's actually really impressive, to be fair. With proper configuration, you are bound to have a good time with this assault rifle. It shreds the enemies, and if you should find yourself at too long of a distance, you can just do some creative movement to close the gap or simply pick a different target. With that said, it's time for me to shut down for now. See you on the battlefield. Cheers!